Welcome to an Alabama drag strip, and it's about what you'd expect. Cars are pretty interesting, a little beat up, and I don't know if they made it through tech, but check out that wiring job. I'm not sure what that copper wire was connected to, the oil cap. My favorite is the tie wraps holding the radiator in, and I don't know whether this car even has a tech department because, I mean, what's holding the battery in? That looks like just a hay bale twine, and that ground strap. But here, let's watch him run. Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name is Stan, and the Southern Tour continues. I thought I'd at least throw a little video together for you guys and let you see what's going on. I've been at work, you know, we're working on over at the job site, got quite a bit of stuff done, and now I'm just out visiting friends. It's the Labor Day weekend, so I'm able to, I got 3 days to myself, so I can go around and visit some folks and do this and that. And I got to visit a shop, and I'll let you blurt it out as soon as you figure out where the heck I'm at. It's not hard to figure out where I am. But it's just kind of a cool place. It's the first time I've ever been here. And it's a big place, you know, there's quite a bit of room and quite a bunch of machines to look at. Some really cool ones too. Requires no introduction or no explanation. This is the big Thompson surface grinder. Yes, please. Very nice. And I know you know where I'm at. There's no way that you watch my show and don't watch Keith Rucker. So Keith and I were working on got a project, and I helped him do some fab work, a little welding. We were fiddling around with his welder. His welder wasn't feeding right, so we figured out a problem with that. His drive rollers were dirty. So that's pretty self-explanatory. We did build that right there. So go watch his show, and he's going to go through some of that. You'll probably see me make a cameo on it, but he's got a big cast iron plate right here, right over there. That's going to go on top of that. He's putting a really cool toolbox in there, in between it, and put it on casters and let it roll around the shop. So pretty darn nice. So special thanks to Keith for letting me come to his shop and play for a little while, see his shop, and get to hang out with him. It's always fun to work with some of the YouTubers. So we had a good time. All right, so that's part of my Georgia tour. We're just doing a Southern tour. This is the Bar Z Southern Tour 2024. Okay, well, it's day 2 of my road trip, and we just came down to kind of south central Georgia. Not sure what this river is, but I've got a pretty nice river behind me. I'm on Jim Bollinger's, it's his deer cabin. Oh, here, I'll flash you a picture of that. Not much of a cabin. So we call it his Airbnb. So that'd be Bollinger and Brood is what the Airbnb stands for. But we're able to come down here, cruise around. He brought his mule back there, working on some deer stands. So I'm helping with a little bit of construction of that. He just brought me down to the river to show me around a little bit. And there it is behind me. I'm going to do a kind of pan around. Nice clean river, beautiful down here, real quiet, enjoying myself. Food was good. Sleep good. Just all we hear is tree frogs and cicadias. That's about it. You know, just a little bit of solitude that I do enjoy. But I'd like to thank Jim Bollinger for his hospitality and inviting me down to his place. And I'm enjoying my time in the South. You know, I swung by Rucker's yesterday and got to poke around his shop. We did a little fab work. I'll probably see it on his channel. We did some fab work over there with him. And just doing some off-roading out in the woods. And like I say, they're working on some deer stands. And they're building a fresh one. So we're hauling some plywood and some construction supplies out there. And I'm going to go help him with that here this afternoon. But he just thought he'd show me around a little bit this morning. So having a good time. Hope you guys enjoy the scenery and the quiet. Yep, the quiet. There it is. All right, let's move on with this trip. All right, we just finished up Jim's deer stand. When are you going to put this to use, Jim?
Coming deer season.
When's
because
that?
Shooting a day early would be poaching.
It would, or a day after. All we got left to do is put a tin roof on it. I guess we're going to town to get a tin roof?
No, it's back at the camp.
Oh, gotcha.
We're salvaging. We're repurposing.
That's fine. Hey, you know, we are recycling.
We are recycling.
This
is built out of almost nearly free. And you can see
what's the total dollar amount of that little
$53.
$53 condo there for shooting deer.
For me to take my boys hunting and share the experience with my
Absolutely.
kids.
Absolutely. And he's teaching them to live off the land and be real men. All right. Enjoying my time here in Georgia.
Grow a beard.
I'm already itchy. All right. Let's find out what else is on the BarZ Southern Tour 2024.
Things are a lot more fun in the South.
They are. I'm enjoying myself down here. Well, I'm here with Jim, and he's been gracious enough to show me around. You want to say hey to everybody?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Tell us about your property here.
I've been leasing this land for, I don't know, 20, 22 years. Hunt and lease long before I was married and children, and hanging up out here with all firemen. And now I have children, and now it's Dad, when we go into the hunt and lease to play in the river. And
it's pretty awesome. I've enjoyed my ride through the woods this morning. Enjoy
the
black flies all over me. Yeah, running bullseyes into spider webs. You know, they're just out in the middle of the trail, and we just center punch them.
So that's why.
So someone's
because you're not afraid of spider webs.
Someone's gonna take a spider web directly to the face, with the inhabitant directly in the center. So they bullseyed us every time.
The best thing about the spider webs is the black flies get all on the spider webs, and then
one ate that one real quick this morning.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, while we're at it, this is the first time I met up with Jim. Did you throw that gar back?
Yeah.
I thought so. I saw him all dried up there on the bank.
I figured you might rehydrate him.
I don't think there's any bringing that one back. He was pretty crusty. We should have let me photograph that before you ran off. Anything you want to say to the folks about your GoFundMe?
I appreciate everybody that helped out with the GoFundMe. We've been fighting insurance companies with attorneys, and insurance companies are the biggest joke on the planet, unfortunately.
They're right
I
up.
appreciate everyone. It's helped out immensely. We have a vehicle, but we don't have a family car still in yet because of that. I appreciate everyone being so gracious. It's really hard to be the recipient of it and tell everybody how much you thank them for everything that they did and helped out. It's helped out immensely, and we're still battling. Bo is up here, and you saw him, so you can tell him what you thought. He's on the road to recovery. We're not there yet.
It was good for me to see him. I wanted to see him with my own two eyes, and he's doing real good. His mobility's good. getting back to his old self, but he's still got a long ways to go. And I'm going to drop a link down below one last time for the Bollinger campaign, and I appreciate everyone that's donated, and I know Jim does.
Oh man, I can't even. I'm not an ask for help kind of person, so
I know you're a pretty humble guy, and you wouldn't ask for it.
I appreciate the folks that set it up, and
I'm not sure who that was, but they're down by you, right?
yeah, it's actually Fred's wife. So,
Oh, okay, very good, very good.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to continue with the Bar Z Southern Tour 2024. Stay tuned for more. We are in the woods up behind Jim's hunting cabin. It's just a beautiful day. And then you come upon something like that.
And then you go like that.
And now, thanks to that guy, we got a hitchhiker.
Everyone's afraid of him.
I know. No, you're not.
Come on, big guy. Come on. 1, 2.
Ready for launch? Oh,
He got in his own web.
yes, he did.
Here. Get them all out of here. Put him back in the woods. Big old banana spider.
Yep. See you later.
Hey, you guys want one? Can I put him in your helmet? No.
Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and we are continuing the Bar Z Southern Tour 2024. I'm currently at my Airbnb, which stands for Bollinger and Brood, and he was nice enough to invite me out to his hunting cabin. And you can, from what you see behind me there, there's not that many woods, but you swing the camera around the other way, there's quite a few. This is an interesting place. This little house was over 100 years old, and this was a, well, obviously I'm in Georgia, so there's pine trees everywhere. And this was a turpentine plantation. It's where they derived the sap from the tree, took it over to the cookhouse or the still or whatever you want to call it to refine it into turpentine. And some of the other houses have little shacks next to the houses, and that's where they cooked and did the process. I don't know the whole entire process of turpentine, but I'm gonna go take you and show you a tree and these little metal things that they used to jam into the trees to pull the pine liquids out of the tree to take it over to the refinery to get it refined into turpentine and cook it. But there's some trees that the little metal things are called cat faces that they used to put in there, and the trees are still alive. So the trees are, you know, maybe 100 years old or so, and they've actually healed around the cat face. So I'm going to go show you one that I found not too far from the house. I'll bring you right back. Okay, well, we're not too far from the house. It's just a small hike, but this tree, you can see the split in it right here, and that's where they actually cut into the tree to install. You see that piece of sheet metal right there? Jim called them cat faces, and then they'd hang a bucket or something on this nail, and the pine tar or the pine sap would leak out of there and dump into a bucket, and then they'd take it over to the distillery and distill it into turpentine. So that's pretty interesting. So this tree is original to the plantation, and we've seen others out there in the woods. We've seen others that have that same wound on them, and you find those little sheet metal pieces. We see them laying around on the ground every once in a while. We just leave them alone, or you see the wound in the tree from where the tree tried to heal around it. So pretty cool. So this has been a fun little place. This is his hunting lodge, and he was over here fixing the place up, building some deer stands, and I'm going to show you some video of, well, let's start with, we did a trip down to the river, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the river's name. So we actually went and bathed in that river yesterday. We were out messing around, and we all stunk pretty bad, so we all just jumped in the river and took a spit bath, and it felt good. And it was a hot day anyways. So on our way back, he says, hey, I know where there's a natural spring, like on a little aquifer or something's coming up out of the ground. and the water is really low in temperature. So it's total geothermal. It's coming from underground and cooling the water, and the water is just crystal clear. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, what I'm filming here is an underground or an underwater spring. You can see it bubbling up right there. It's just slowly bubbling up. And this is a spring head. This is literally where the spring starts. Let me zoom out a little bit. That water is just crystal clear. And I have pretty much ruined my shoes just from doing this.
I told you, Stan.
Oh.
I told you, Stan.
Way to you video bomb me. Thanks, dude. Anyways, it's pretty neat to come to a spring head and see where the spring originates. So this is just coming from the underground. So and that water is crystal clear. It really doesn't capture the blue hue of it, but it is beautiful. And then after that, he said, hey, I know where there's a tree where the roots got washed out. It looks like a hobbit house. Let's go check this out. And I'm going to put Bollinger in the video so you can see how the magnitude of it, because just on video it's not going to do it justice. I want you to see how big this thing really is with all the root structure washed away. And we're just kind of following this little spring down from the wellhead, and there's a really cool tree I thought you guys might like to see. This thing is awesome. And that little stream, when the rains hit, it washes all that away, so it's able to see, you're able to see all the root structure in there. Jim's going to step in there to give you some scale. So he's 3'2", and he's a hobbit, and that's his home in there. And that's how that sits. Now, most of you guys know Jim Bollinger is not a small man, so that'll give you an idea of the grandeur of this thing. So we got a little range time to ourselves. It's kind of nice. Because I called Jim and I said, hey, what kind of targets and range you got there for shooting? And he said, well, it's not very good. So we made him a swinging target. I made this over at the job site. This is a piece of 3-inch square tube, 3/16 wall, and the kids were shooting out of a 22. Me and Jim were shooting at it a little bit with a 9, and he's got his 40, and we were kind of afraid we were going to bust through it, so we quit shooting at that. And then with the AR, we found this pan, so it actually hangs kind of right on the swinging target there. So we were shooting at this with the AR and letting the kids shoot at the swinging target. So the scrap from the job site's been pretty good. That's a 2x2 angle I've been using for the conveyor, and that's the square tubing from the clean room. So makes a pretty darn nice target. And this is, I already know what my AR would do to this thing, so I didn't want to destroy his target. He's going to take that home for the kids to shoot the small caliber stuff at. Okay, well, that's the end of my trip over to Georgia. I went and saw Keith, went and saw Jim. We did a little shooting. We did a little rebuilding, built a deer stand, cleared some brush, did this and that, just did some basic chores around this place, and enjoyed every minute of it. I had a pretty good time. So, I mean, I shot video of us ripping through the woods and spiders and all kinds of stuff. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff in here that y'all already looked at. So appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you on the next one.